Hi, and welcome back to our quick tip session. Of course, today we've got another tip for you to be able to implement into your business and start seeing those small changes that are going to make you be a superstar by the end of the year. So, of course, I've got another question today to ask Colin, and here's Colin for you.
I'm excited to be here again today, and hopefully everyone's been enjoying the other questions in the series. Let's jump straight into this one.
All right, so today we wanted to ask, how important is it for you to know your customers and or competitors?
I'm going to give you two answers on this one, if that's okay. The first answer is it's extremely important to A, profile your customers, and B, know what your competitors are doing. However, the danger of this is, especially with your competitors, not your customers, is that it's very easy to get caught up with what Jane down the road is doing. And so Jane has done this, so I must do this. And that's a dangerous path to follow. So you need an awareness about who and what your competitors are doing, but you should still walk your own path of what feels right in business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just on that, we as humans, we have a tendency to think that what everyone else is doing is correct and not trusting our own instincts and our own business instincts, or just knowing what's right for us, because we are all unique. And you can see other people and look at your competitors and think, oh, they're doing so much better than me, but you don't know what's going on the inside. So definitely just more of an overview of what your competitors doing. Just don't do it to compare yourself and think they're so much better than me, because they're not. They're just doing something differently. That's all.
That's a good point. So with I'll give you some hints and tips of what we do. So with your customers, what we always do is create something called a Bob and Mary profile. And what I might actually do as a bonus with this video is I'll put a Word document together, which just gives you an example of some of the profiles that we use. But typically it's a Bob and Mary profile. And what you do is you give them a name, you give them an age, you basically write down the types of interests that they're in, the job, are they family, where do they shop, etc., and what keeps them up at night. If you're able to get quite laser targeted with who your profile is, what you're then able to do is hyper target these people on Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, wherever these might be, or even LinkedIn. So I'll give you a recent example. A client of ours does a lot of work in the corporate space, but corporate females 30. So the perfect opportunity for that is in and around LinkedIn. So what we'll do is that we'll include one of these, but the more detail that you can get with about who your customer is, the better. There's lots of tools around the web that you can use for contacting people, and your competitors, you can use sites like alexa.com, and there's a free tool on there to put into their website, and then you're able to do some social stuff around who they are and who their demographic is, etc. I hope all that helps and makes sense.
Yeah, I can't sort of really stress enough how important it is to know your customer, because there's so many people out there that don't know their niche, or they try and get everybody, and it's too impossible to get everybody. So the more you know your customer, the more that you can tweak your brand to suit that person, or especially if you're new in business and you haven't really started on the branding yet. You learn about your customer, and then you can really appeal to them, because trying to appeal to a wide range just doesn't work. It's really expensive, it's really time consuming, and you're just not going to get the same results. And I was actually talking to someone. I was talking to someone exactly about this, and I was saying that they got some advice. They had a mentor, they got some advice to pick a niche, and they said it was really scary to do that, because they felt like they were going to be missing out on the market. But they said since they've done it, it was the best thing that they've done. But not only that, one, that you can become an authority in that niche, and two, they just said the referrals from it, because once you're helping one person in that industry, they know other people as well that have similar interests. Birds of a feather flock together.
That's right.
Just the referrals alone was absolutely fantastic, and absolutely one of the best things they ever did.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. I think the more that you can niche, it allows you then to you know, when you're then trying to find customers, especially in this industry, let's say, for example, that your market is more weddings or formals. There are lots of things then that you can partner with, like wedding photographers or dressmakers, etc., that you can get referrals from. So the more niche you can go, the better it is online, and the more targeted you can go with your marketing, and then also understanding your customer, as you were saying, a lot more. So absolutely.
Yeah, and it might be an age group, you know, and then obviously your advertising appealing to someone in their 20s is going to be completely different to someone in their 40s, or
Yes.
where you're going to find someone in their 40s. You know, you might want the business female, where they're going to be hanging out and looking at completely different things to what your 20-year-old who's just new into the workforce. So yeah, can't stress enough how much to know your customer and get that sorted right from the start. Don't try and get everyone all at once and waste that time and money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've answered that one then. We covered the competitors. So yeah, once again on competitors, definitely look at what they're doing, get some ideas, but do not get hung up on it, and do not compare yourself because it just is not a good path to go down. Everyone does their own thing in their own way, and it's the uniqueness that makes everyone's business fantastic.
The one final thought that I was just going to say is what we've done before, and we've had great successes in, is surveys. So with your existing customers, you know, if you want to know how you're doing, put a survey together and ask for some brutal honesty. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's all for today's quick tip, and thanks for joining us again. Of course, we'll be back with some more for you soon.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.